Disclaimer, the comments made in this video are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to offend anyone. Welcome back. Today's lineup is a collection of instant reversals powered entirely by people tripping over their own reasoning. Let's start with a woke student trying to play word games like labels change reality until a single question shuts the whole routine down.
Keep referring to pro-choice people, pro-abortion.
Yeah.
I don't think everyone is pro-abortion. I think it's pro-choice.
Pro-choice to do what?
To do what they want with their own body.
To have an abortion.
Yeah, but that's doing what they want with their body.
I'm against abortion. Are you for abortion?
I don't think it matters. I think it matters what that
Well, you
person
can be
wants to
pro-abortion,
do.
you can be anti-abortion. I mean, if abortion's so good,
okay, you're saying it's black and white.
if abortion's so good, why are you waffling at this?
Okay,
If abortion
you think
is
it's black
okay,
and white.
if
You think
abortion is simply
black and white.
removal of unwanted tissue, does nothing wrong, why are you having a hard time saying you're pro-abortion? Just accept the word.
What, abortion?
Yeah, say you're pro-abortion.
Why should I?
Why won't you?
Because you want me to.
There you go.
The moment pressure hits, the buzzwords crumble. No clear stance, no backbone, just awkward pauses and deflection. The lady stays calm and direct, and that is all it takes. Woke logic never survives when it has to say things out loud. Next, this host tries to flip the scenario mid-question, hoping gender changes the rules.
So if someone come and slap you right now, what would you do?
I'm going to fight.
A girl right now, one of the girls right now slapped you. What would
I'm
you do?
going to uppercut her. I'm going to uppercut her.
You're gonna fight a woman?
If she hits me, yes. If you can hit a man, you can get hit like a man. I'm sorry. I'm telling you.
She leans in, waits for hesitation, and instead gets a straight answer that never budges. Her face says this was not in the plan. The couch gets quiet, the smile turns forced, and suddenly that clever setup feels like a bad idea she wants back. Now, Michael Knowles lets a campus expert unload a whole speech about the studies, complete with hand motions and attitude.
In your show, I see you often say that science is mostly fake in regards to transgenderism, climate change. My question is, when I read all these studies, some of which, of course, you think are fake, it all seems to disagree with you. So,
which studies do you read?
The fake ones, I guess.
Yeah, can you cite the studies you're talking about?
Yeah, I've got them all in my pocket, and we can just read
Could you
them.
name even one of them off the top of your head?
No, I just threw them all out.
I know, but
they're all fake, right?
So these people that you're being sarcastic because it's the last refuge of someone who has no answer. But you say that I don't believe in modern science and you're such a sophisticate who reads all these studies. You don't read them. None of these people read them, and half the studies are irreplicable. You're proving to me that it's fake. You're not even relying on it. You're relying on a kind of gut intuition, which is really just a half-baked religious sense that a boy can be a girl and that the sun god is going to kill us all in 12 years or whatever AOC said 15 years ago. It's also not even grounded in modern science. So even according to your own stated principles and premises, your arguments don't hold up.
Then comes the awkward pause when he is asked to name even one. Suddenly it is jokes, pocket pantomimes, and nervous laughs. The mic goes quiet, the room catches on, and the lecture turns into a live demonstration of bluffing without homework. Coming up, a street interviewer starts with harmless flirting, then turns it into a pop quiz on race preferences.
Do you got a girlfriend?
No, I don't.
You trying to have a girlfriend? Do you like
Baby
your
boy, I'll do anything for you. Anything for you. Baby boy, I'll do anything
Sorry,
for you.
this is my man. Sorry.
Oh.
You like white girls or?
Oh.
I mean, I'm not white, but like, you like white girls?
Guys, in this situation, what you actually do is like, you don't answer the question because what you say will be held against you.
The touching, the loaded follow-ups all ramp up fast. When the trap finally drops, she gets a legal-style dodge instead. Suddenly, the flirting stops working, and the camera gets the explanation she did not plan for. Here comes another one as a woke pundit tries to dodge a kindergarten-level question by hiding behind vibes and TikTok phrasing.
Do you think there should be more than two genders in America?
Yeah, I don't know what that executive order means. I don't know what the president declared.
It means there are two genders, male and female. Do you disagree with that?
How many genders are there, Harry?
Yeah,
come on, little guy. How many genders are there?
Again, these guys don't know what they're talking about, so they won't be able
Harry,
to answer.
how many genders are there?
How many genders are there, Harry?
How many
genders are there?
I'm gonna use Joe Biden's answers. At least two. At least two. That satisfies.
Well, how many more other than male, female?
That's a TikTok answer.
No, there's at least two.
Yeah.
There's at least two.
Well, no, hang on. There's male and female.
Kid is like human brain
Donald
rot.
Trump says there's male and female. There are two.
Okay, Dave.
How many
Russian
more
Reuben,
are there after male and female, Harry?
There's at least 2. Now, anyway, let me get back to
what
what
at least 2?
More are there?
What are the other ones?
There's at least 2.
What are the other ones?
Harry, let's try it this way. You're a female. What is the other gender?
It's so funny. It's so funny how these conservatives just get time to lie on this show, but when I'm speaking, they'll all interrupt me.
Question.
You've just been asked a very simple question, Harry.
Conversation with Piers, not you, Mr. Como-over. Relax for me.
Harry,
Take a
you
breather.
simply
Thank you
got
so much.
They ask for a number and he gives a slogan. They ask again and he panics. When his own logic gets turned back on him, the whole routine melts into excuses and insults. Turns out confidence drops fast when words need definition. Now, 3 know-it-alls confidently lecture everyone on biology, right up until someone asks them to explain it.
If you know anything about basic human biology, at conception, originally, everyone starts out as female.
You're just like a blank slate, but the genetics are female.
So for my audience, I think they might be a little confused about what that is. Can you go into that a little bit more? I literally have never heard that before.
I am a biology major, and I can say that biology does not make sense, and you really just have to read about it and make sense of it yourself. Because if someone trying to explain it is not the greatest thing,
Right.
unless it's someone who like knows it in and out.
I also graduated with a biology degree. I will say that at conception, we are either male or female. We go through developmental stages where our limbs are developing based on the genetic code that we have. So I don't know who's spreading that around because I've heard that a lot today, but that is not true.
Yeah, biology is just a weird thing.
Suddenly, science turns into vibes, feelings, and it's complicated. The moment real knowledge shows up, the experts retreat to shrugging. Woke certainty is loud, but it never survives a follow-up question. Here's a good one. A woke instructor rolls out a full etiquette guide for pronouns like everyone signed up for homework.
What to do when you misgender someone and you catch yourself. Did you get Sam's text? They want. Did you see Sam's text? She wants us to come over for dinner. Really looking forward to going to their place for dinner, Sam's Shrimp Risotto. Make it awkward and about you and center your feelings, fix it and move forward.
The advice keeps going, the rules keep stacking, and then reality checks in. No outrage, no speech, just indifference doing the cleanup. Turns out most people fix nothing and keep moving, and that alone shuts the lesson down. Next up, we've got a woke street interview that starts friendly until personal preference enters the chat.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, ask me.
Okay. What is a body count that you wouldn't go near? If they have what number?
I think three and above. 21.
3? Oh, f off of that.
Yeah, it's just a preference. What you're against my preference. You know, I wouldn't judge you based on your preference. So like, you want to.
You're 21.
Yeah, I'm 21.
You've been in a relationship.
Yeah, I'm in a relationship currently. Yeah.
How long have you been in the relationship?
Like a year or something.
Right, okay.
Actually, yeah.
I think if you're in relationships, 3, like, of course that's normal, but like if you're not in relationships,
I'm 21. Wait, like, what do you think is like the average body count of 21?
I have no idea. Body count.
In England, let's say.
More than 3, I'm gonna be honest. It's definitely more than. It's probably like 21. You're. How long have you been in a relationship? I'd say. Would you say like 10?
10, like the average body count in England. In like 21.
Whoa.
Do whatever you want to do. As long as you're not cheating on anyone, I don't care. So yeah, who cares? That's fine.
All right, cool.
The second he gives an honest answer, outrage kicks in. Suddenly, preferences are offensive, math gets weird, and do whatever you want only applies one way. Funny how tolerance disappears the moment someone does not agree with the group script. This time, it's Candace Owens laying the cards on the table, while Dr. Luke Wood scrambles to defend a system built on vibes and paperwork gymnastics.
I am not less than you because you are white. I don't need you to look at me and feel bad for me because of the color of my skin. And that's effectively what you're doing every time you take an application. You say, oh, well, this girl's black, so I kind of feel bad for her, so I'm going to put her at the top of the line. It's just not necessary.
I'm of mixed background. What am I supposed to mark on an application? Am I supposed to mark multiple boxes? And plus, if you are painting people as an oppressor, if you're white,
That's
and then saying that you're oppressed,
well, it's the truth because
you're
you believe in
of color,
affirmative action. So I said mark black. If you're a mixed student, I'm in an interracial relationship, so I can speak to this. I have a son that's half white and a son that's half black and a daughter that's half white and half black. They're going to mark black because I know that there are people like you at the universities who will say, well, because this person is black, I'm just going to let them in.
No, they're going to mark black because they're black.
Well, they're half black and half white. They're both. What are you going to look at that applicant as a little bit less because they're half white? How do you guys figure that out?
Holistically, across a number of different factors.
I love me a buzzword. Holistically and racial consciousness.
Oh yeah, reverse discrimination.
It's not reverse discrimination. It's just discrimination. It's just racism if you're judging people on the basis of their skin color.
She walks him him through his own logic step by step until he hides behind words like holistically. When pressed on how race actually factors in, the explanation turns slippery fast, and the buzzwords do all the work. Now, Piers Morgan reads the headline, squints, and politely asks what any normal person would ask.
The first transgender, non-binary footballer to play in the Women's World Cup. To which my response when I read this was, hang on a second, hang on. She is a transgender non-binary. What is that? How can you be transgender and non-binary?
Because that's what they are.
It's not the same as transgender, or it is?
I don't want to put words in their mouth, but I would say that's probably because they're not allowed to take the correct amount of testosterone because they are still playing in the women's team.
So my question is, if you're no longer identifying as a woman, what are you doing playing in the Women's World Cup? Not my title. That is the official title of the tournament. She doesn't qualify. They don't qualify, even though there's only one of them. They don't qualify for the Women's World Cup because they used to be a woman, but now they don't want to be a woman. So now we have to call them they for being a transgender, even though they're non-binary. And they're still playing in the Women's World Cup, and we're all supposed to go, well done, Quinn, what a moment! What a moment, but no one's quite sure what we're celebrating.
The guest answers with vibes, hormones, and careful phrasing, hoping that sounds like an explanation. Piers keeps circling one detail, the word women, and the clapping at the end feels more like panic than praise. In this next clip, Liz Wheeler is accused of fear-mongering by a student who thinks calling surgeries mean words makes them disappear.
You said that the left is trying to basically fearmonger people. Couldn't people argue that you're doing the same by claiming that people are trying to destroy the family and mutilate people's genitals and stuff like that?
Well, is it or is it not true that children's genitals are being mutilated in the name of the transgender ideology?
Do you have proof of that?
Yes, I do. Have you Googled it?
Oh, I've Googled plenty, yes.
There's a difference between warning people about the reality of what's happening versus pretending that someone's words, literal words, like words can't actually hurt you. You're not hurt by my words right here. You're standing right there, you're perfectly safe. I'm standing right here using my words. Maybe we don't see eye to eye on this topic. The fact of the matter is, it's reality. When you look at what's happening at gender clinics all across the country, Jazz Jennings, everyone's heard of Jazz Jennings, right? One of the most prominent transgender young people in our country. This individual, is a male and had his genitals, he was castrated. Is that not physical bodily harm, irrevocable bodily harm to this person?
She tosses out the claim, then immediately asks for proof like Google is a conspiracy theory. Liz calmly walks him through reality, names, and suddenly the mic goes quiet. Funny how fast outrage fades when examples start stacking up. Here's a good one. What starts as a casual bar question about dating etiquette slowly turns into a full courtroom defense over who pays and why.
Do you pay for dates?
See, I'm a firm believer in 50-50, just because of the fact that I believe that if I go on a date and I want to pay for a girl, and then I tell her, hey, listen, this is on me, I don't want her to assume that I'm expecting something from her post-date. Because if you go on a date with a guy and the guy's just like, no, I'll pay for this. Or, oh, we're going to go get drinks after, I'll pay for that too. It's cool, it's on me, right? I think in your head, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in your head you're like, okay, he might want something.
She asks it casually, glass in hand, and suddenly he is mapping out intentions, expectations, and imaginary pressure like he is filing a report. Her face says she wanted dinner, not a TED Talk on emotional liability. Now, this journalist is explaining how she profits from a system she dislikes, right until Jordan Peterson offers a simple fix: quit.
I think I'm benefiting actually from a lot of things that I don't support. Like I have a very good job. Well, I don't think that's going to do the world any good, is it?
That's a fine rationalization for your privileged position.
Oh, well, fair enough. But if
you could trade it off with someone who's less privileged. That'd be a start.
I could do that, but I don't want to, and I won't, and I don't think I should be expected to.
Why not? Is it okay for you to occupy a position of privilege in the patriarchal tyranny? And if it is it because you're female? Or is it just because it's convenient?
So what I believe is that you should, if you have a good life, you should try and pass that on. I believe in a progressive redistributive tax system, for example. It was once said by Lord Mandelson in British politics, New Labour was okay with people being filthy rich as long as they paid their taxes. Now, I'm kind of less okay with people being filthy rich.
Define filthy rich.
Well, I think I would leave that
You're probably in the top 1/10% of people who've ever lived on the planet. That would constitute filthy rich by historical standards.
Okay, but I'm not
sure
that I'm going to...
So where is the line exactly?
Suddenly, the moral speech turns into nervous laughter and backpedaling. She can give it up, she admits, but she just will not. Then comes the wordplay about wealth, followed by a calm reminder that she already lives in the category she is condemning. This time, it's a street dating interview that manages to collapse an entire set of standards into one punchline before the question even finishes.
What's your biggest red flag in a man?
No money.
Oh, yeah? Okay. And what's your biggest green flag?
Money.
Love that. Yes.
Red flag, green flag, same answer, same laughter, just different graphics doing the heavy lifting. The vibe is pure agreement until the response shows up and calmly explains how chasing money like a personality trait usually ends with scams, sirens, and a bill nobody wants. Here comes a classic. She confidently crowns herself the prize before the math ruins the moment.
Woman is the prize.
Men are the prize because men have to bring way more to the table than women do to get a relationship. So therefore, we are the prize.
No.
Absolutely.
No, that's not true.
Do you find most men attractive or unattractive?
Unattractive.
So would it be fair to say that you're picky?
Yes, very.
Okay. So if you find that guy, would it be fair to say that he's probably in the top 1 or 2% of men?
Mm-hmm.
By definition, he's the prize.
She waves off his pushback, then casually admits that most men are unattractive and she is extremely picky. A few questions later, she agrees the guy she wants is 1% rare. Suddenly, the crown switches heads and the realization hits late. And finally, here's a woke challenge that tries to play word games right out of the gate.
You keep defining abortion as the murder of babies, which biological fact is you would say most abortions are done before they are actually babies. It's still just a fetus. So my question...
Do you know what the word fetus means?
It's just a cluster, a
That's
zygote
developing
into a baby eventually.
The word fetus, it's a Latin word, and it just means offspring. That's all it means. It just means the next generation of a being. So, but that's what a baby is also. I mean, that's what you would call your adult child someday once he's grown, hopefully if he hasn't been murdered.
Can I ask my question?
Well, I'm just like to clarify this point. You would call your adult child your offspring too, but all of these terms that you might use, fetus, embryo, the one they love is zygote, which sounds like a Pokemon, but they use all these different terms, but it's all referring to the same being, and you were that being once. You, the person who's standing here right now.
Do any of us have a memory of being that being?
No, I mean, I don't have a memory of last Thursday, frankly. It's been a very busy week, but the lack of a memory doesn't mean that it's all right to murder me.
She argues labels instead of meaning, hoping terminology does the heavy lifting. That plan falls apart fast when definitions get clarified and jokes land harder than slogans.
Well, anyways, my question is, you stress murdering babies a lot, but when it comes to murdering babies, kids, and everything in everyday shootings that keep happening, you say nothing. So I ask, why is it okay to murder babies when it's regulating women but not regulating guns?
No, I say quite a lot about that, actually. I think the crime is a terrible problem, and I think it's just awful that liberals have funded and intentionally installed liberal DAs who won't prosecute violent criminals. This has led to an increase in violent crime, and it's awful. I totally oppose that. But it's not me and it's not my side that's funding that sort of thing. Now, you say, why wouldn't I want to regulate guns? Guns are very regulated in the United States as it is, and I've yet to hear one gun control proposal that would stop any of these shooting incidents that people talk about. People focus on the sensationalized ones from the news, a school shooting or a movie theater shooting. No proposed gun control legislation of the last 30 years would have stopped any of those. And the majority of the shootings are gang-related, and they're handgun shootings. And so I'm all for cracking down on those gangs and throwing them all in the can, but it's usually the liberals telling me that we have to abolish the police and go soft on crime, and they were just failed by society, and so we can't put them in prison, and we have to abolish the prisons too. That's not me. I'm all for it. You want to get me a bill, you want to elect me to office and get a bill in front of me that will crack down on gang crime and these gangsters using handguns to kill kids, let's do it. I'd sign that in 2 seconds. But it's not up to me, unfortunately. It's up to the side that I suspect you would consider yourself to be on.
No, it's up to a side that you're often a part of. And even if it's not you specifically, it's your friends and the people you support that just continue to... it's just, you aren't considering both sides and how, saying one thing can just contradict the other thing.
How do you think I've done that?
by saying you're murdering babies, blah, 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 just over and over again, but just not mentioning any of the babies being murdered every single day in shootings that haven't even made it to major news outlets because they're so common.
No, well, that wouldn't be a contradiction or a hypocrisy or anything. I'm focusing on one particular issue called abortion, but I actually mentioned in the speech tonight that specifically on the issue of black people being murdered, 10,000 black people are murdered every year with guns and knives and hammers and the like, but 242,000 black people at the very least are murdered through abortion. So that would seem to be a more pressing issue, but I brought it up. I'm all for trying to reduce the murder rate. Unfortunately, liberal DAs are not allowing us to do that. So you're more than welcome to convince your fellow liberals to stop funding these people and to start arresting criminals. But my side of the political aisle has been arguing to arrest and keep those criminals locked up for a very long time. And so there's very little we can do if the other side of the aisle won't work with us.
When logic loses, the topic suddenly changes. Abortion becomes guns because nothing says confidence like a last-minute pivot. Then facts come out, numbers replace feelings, and the script starts cracking. And just like that, the confidence evaporates. When consistency enters the room, excuses usually follow. Like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy watching arguments lose momentum in real time. See you next time.